Am I the a-hole for keeping my name change a secret for 5 years? So, my 26 female parents decided to name my sister and I after American states. I have permission to share her name, Arizona, and I was called Pennsylvania at birth. Yeah, my parents are weird. I guess they thought geographical names were cool, but I think there's a huge difference between calling your child Arizona or Dakota or Paris versus Pennsylvania. They're massive Republicans and America lovers, so maybe they wanted to be patriotic. For as long as I can remember, everyone has called me Pen or Penny. My parents insisted that everyone was to call me by my full name, but most people could see how ridiculous my parents are. My sister, 28 female, didn't struggle as much with her name since Arizona just sounds better than Pennsylvania, and the Grey's Anatomy character Arizona Robbins made the name seem quite cool as we got older. I was mocked and teased as a child in elementary school because of my parents' insistence on my full name. They would literally berate my teachers for letting me write Penny on my workbooks. When I was 21, I got my name legally changed to Penelope. Most people I had met in college had assumed that I went by Penny as a nickname for Penelope. Even my boyfriend's mother called me Penelope because I was too embarrassed to tell her that Penny was short for Pennsylvania. I kept it a secret from my parents and close family because I knew my parents would go mental and accuse me of disrespecting their choice. I'm getting married this summer to my lovely boyfriend Tom, 31 male, and as you all know, you have to say your full name in your wedding ceremony when doing your vows. I knew I had to fess up about the name change because the alternative would be hoping they kept quiet when they heard me say I, Penelope, instead of I, Pennsylvania. I invited them over to my home and I tried to tell them in a really calm way that I had changed my name, but they freaked out. They said that I was disrespectful, I was calling their choice dumb, etc. They are refusing to attend the wedding now. I know I'm not the a-hole for changing my name, but my parents are particularly pissed about how I kept it hidden for 5 years before telling them. Most people I know agree with them. They think that I should have had the courage to be honest with them years ago so they would have had time to get used to it instead of me dropping the news on them 2 months before my wedding and causing all this drama. A few other family members have dropped out and my poor sister, who is maid of honor, is having a nightmare with this. My parents believe they had the right to know much earlier. Edit. I know I could ask the officiant priest to say Penny instead of Penelope, but I don't want to hide my real name on my wedding day.
Not the a-hole. How come none of your relatives are appalled that your parents care more about a dumb name than their actual child?
Most of them think my parents are crazy, but there are some who are just as crazy as my parents, so they're the ones who are siding with them.
Here is the easy part. Those that side with your parents don't get a wedding invite. The only people who will be present are the people who love you and support you. People who think that they have more say than you do over your own freaking name and all the emotions and things you have been through and that are directly associated with it, are not the sort of people who you want at your wedding. They will make it about your name and ultimately how it affects them. Their day is about you, not them. They can leave in the general direction of fuck and never return. Not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole. You can change your name if you want, and the name your parents lumbered you with at birth was an excellent reason to do so. From what you've written, I suspect your parents would have blown up whatever, and the 5 years is just a pretense to hang their anger on. 2 months is enough to get used to the idea too. As for boycotting the wedding because of it, they need to get over themselves. That is a big overreaction to my mind. It sounds like your parents need to grow up a bit, to be honest.
Not the a-hole. If your parents spent 13 years of your school life trying to force everyone to call you Pennsylvania, I suspect they would have spent the past 5 making you miserable for changing your name. Hence, your silence.
Thank you. The people saying she should have had the courage to tell her parents are delusional. Her parents have been fighting against her autonomy for years, when teachers were fine with letting her choose what to be called. Not the a-hole, they can sit and stew. I wouldn't want them at my wedding. It's emotional blackmail either way, and 100% call their bluff. Start talking about how excited she is for Tom's Uncle Dave to walk her down the aisle, and see how long this bullshit lasts.
Not the a-hole, dear Colorado and Mississippi, I mean Mom and Dad. No matter when I told you of my name change, you would have blown up. I tried to explain my feelings multiple times over the years and you never cared about my feelings about my name. If you need someone to stick with a name no matter what, get a dog. Until you can sincerely apologize to me for this and everything else you have blown out of proportion through the years. You are uninvited to my wedding and I plan on going no contact with you. Anyone you try to get on your side will also be no contact. Congratulations on losing a daughter and a son-in-law.
Am I the a-hole for giving away my dad and my sister's tickets to my graduation ceremony and telling them to not bother showing up? I, 18 female, have my high school graduation ceremony this Wednesday. It was sent to my parents in an email that I will be giving a speech that day as my grades made me valedictorian of my school's class of 2024, and I was excited to do so. My school made US Reserve and buy tickets to the ceremony weeks in advance, and I picked mine up on the 26th. The problem started at dinner when I told my family I picked up the tickets for my graduation day and would keep them with me until the day of just to make sure they don't get lost. My dad told me that he and my sister had plans for an hour before the ceremony, but that my mom would be there the whole time, and that they'd try to be there for the after party. I was honestly shocked for a moment, before starting to laugh, assuming they weren't serious. When I realized they actually weren't joking, I'll admit I was a bit mad. I'm usually a very shy and non-confrontational person, even around my family, but I started yelling at my dad and sister, asking if they were seriously ditching my graduation ceremony. I told them that the after-party was useless to attend, and that all the pictures of the graduates with their families would be taken at least 2 hours before the ceremony. They said it's fine and we can take our own pictures the day after my graduation, but I got up and left dinner. Over the weekend, I saw a few people on my class group chat complain that they didn't get enough tickets, so I offered up the 2 tickets I had, and met up with a girl from my class to give them to her, and even though I told her not to, she actually paid me the original price for them. When the topic of graduation was brought up by my dad today during lunch, I told him that I gave the other 2 tickets away and only my mom will be attending, so they shouldn't bother with the after party. He got mad and asked why I would do that, to which I replied that I don't see the point in wasting money on tickets if they're not going to use them. My dad blew up on me, saying I'm acting like a spoiled brat, and it's not like I'll die if he and my sister are a bit late to my graduation. I spoke to a few people about it, my friends and my grandma. My friends said good riddance, and if they consider their plans more important, they can have fun. But my grandma said that while she understands my side, I shouldn't have given away the tickets just to spite my dad, because maybe he would have changed his mind and gone on time. So I'm looking for a non-biased opinion. Am I the a-hole? Edit for info. The plans my dad and sister have is some sleepover with her and her friend group in the north, around a 2-hour drive from where we live. The parents didn't want to leave a bunch of under 16-year-old girls alone that far, so everyone's parents are also going for supervision, apart from my mom who is going to be at my graduation.
Thank God your mom supports you, not only graduation but also being the valedictorian of your class. Great job. I am saddened that your father and sister are not celebrating your great accomplishments with you. Just baffles me. I don't even know you, but I'm excited for you. You did the right thing. Not the a-hole, but your dad and sister are the a-holes. They have had 364 days to do their sleepover, like WTF. By the way, congrats on your accomplishments.
Thank you. Yes, my mom had kind of been my rock throughout high school. I'm really grateful for her.
Because maybe he would have changed his mind and gone on time. No, they have made it clear they are not prioritizing your achievements, by any means. I am sorry they don't seem to care. Not the a-hole. Congratulations on graduating and being valedictorian. You've a lot to be proud of. Red heart.
Not the a-hole. You're learning young that people are who they are, and you should treat them accordingly. You're the valedictorian and they actually said they had plans before your graduation, leading you to believe they didn't think it was important enough for them to attend. And then you gave the tickets away. And they are upset? They are so wrong. Just wrong. Congratulations on your achievement. I hope you do just as well in college. And I hope they have learned their lesson and will be present for the next graduation ceremony.
OP, your dad and your sister have made it clear, your achievements and your graduation is not a priority to them, their little vacation is. Not the a-hole. Congratulations on being made valedictorian, way to go.
As a high school valedictorian who gave the speech, let me say I would have disowned either of my parents if they had even suggested not coming. My grandparents drove 500 miles to hear that speech. It's incomprehensible to me that any parent would say such a thing to a child who has achieved that much. Shocking. You can't be the a-hole because there is a black hole like a-hole vortex in your family and you know exactly where it is.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories.